Dramatic images coming in of Syrians now seen storming Assad's palace in Damascus. The mob is seen looting Assad's personal belongings as Syria is falling to rebels. President Assad has fled from Syria. We don't know details just yet of exactly where he is, but images coming in now of people essentially ruling the streets of Syria and now inside his palace too. A sense of deja vu, because we've seen this first in Sri Lanka, then in Bangladesh, and now in Syria. An image that pretty much establishes that there is no sense of rule anymore. And these are images on the right of your screens from Assad's palace, where you see, in fact, locals looting belongings of, in fact, the Syrian president as he's reportedly fled from Damascus. No details just yet of exactly where he is. But you can see people with flashlights entering, raising slogans, going through Assad's personal belongings and stealing, looting from his palace. Ashraf Wani is joining us with more details on this. Ashraf, these images now is something the world is far too familiar with and always indicative of the country being thrust into chaos.
Absolutely, Akshita, and it was something what was not expected by the world powers as well as by the Gulf countries, that so quickly the Assad regime will fall within the span of only 10 days. Basically, we have seen this started last week when the of different sects from different areas started invading and capturing the different towns and cities of the Syria. And finally, after taking the second largest city last week, Aleppo, these rebel fighters last night reached Damascus, and when it was felt by the Assad regime that probably the regime is going to fall, he fled the country during the night, and also the supporters who helped during 2016 civil war to the Assad regime, to Syria's regime, particularly the Russia and Iran. They had not come this time for the rescue of the Assad, because both the countries have their own problems. On one side, Russia is engaged in the Ukraine, and on the other side, Iran has got too much setback during the last 1 year of war with Israel. So basically, this unexpected thing happened. But what was the good news? What came from the Syria, which is a very big country in the Gulf, that without any kind of a bloodshed, this regime change took place. Now, the next few hours are very much crucial, but so far the indications what are coming from the rebel forces probably indicate that they have learned a lot of things during last many years, that if they are going to fight and kill the people, that will not help them. That is why the first statement what come from the rebel fighters after capturing the state television in Damascus, they said that this country belongs to the all Syrians and no one should damage the property of the country and other things.
And extremely dramatic images coming in. Look at the left of your screens, that of the statue being brought down. The statue is, in fact, of Hafez al-Assad, the father of Bashar Al-Assad, considered to be an icon there. His statue being brought down. Let's put out those images again on our screens of the dramatic moment, showing you really the anger being expressed by locals there. That particular image there of the statue coming crashing down as locals pull down the statue as part of their rampage on the streets of Damascus. So Syrian rebels have essentially taken over the country. President al-Assad's whereabouts remain unknown, but reportedly he's fled Syria, and this after the rebels entered the outskirts of the country's capital, now well within the capital. Amid this, Syrian military has announced that Assad's decades-long authoritarian rule has ended. Rebels have taken control of Hamas military bases and Syria's broadcast station as well. Islamist leader al-Julani has now taken control over Syria. Moments after Assad's ouster, civilians stormed the presidential palace, looted all of his personal belongings. Syrian rebels claim they've captured 4 more cities in the last 24 hours, including one of the largest cities of Syria, which is Homs. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, meanwhile, has distanced America from the civil war in Syria, saying it's not America's fight. However, the current U.S. President, Joe Biden, the incumbent, is monitoring the situation closely.
إطلاق سراح جميع المعتقلين المظلومين من سجون النظام. إن رفض عمليات في دمشق تهيب بالإخوة المجاهدين والمواطنين والحفاظ على جميع ممتلكات الدولة السورية الحرة. عاشت سوريا حرة أبية لكل السوريين بجميع أطيافهم.
أخواني الكرام,
My dear brothers, we are living the final moments of liberating Homs by God's will. This is a historic moment that will distinguish between right and wrong. We call on our brothers, the Mujahideen, as we have called on them before, to be kind to people. For those who lay down their weapons should be made safe.
والحمد لله رب العالمين.